Jetzt testen wir nochmal The Song Out of Space. Ein Lovecraftian Game, was ich schon immer mal probieren wollte. The Color Out of Space ist ja die Story von Lovecraft, die wirklich, wirklich gut ist. Die es in vielerlei Arten von Hörbüchern und Hörspielen gibt. Checkt das aus auf YouTube, das ist wirklich, wirklich gut. Let's go. Yeah, this game is better played in a dark room. This is a word of fiction. So schnell kann ich nicht lesen. FBI Headquarters. Wir sind in den 70ern. Choose a character. Catherine Armstrong. Also er ist, ach ja, steht ja auch 26, 34, okay. Katie. Und der hat kein Nickname. Der Steward wird halt Steward genannt. A bureau with higher education. She comes highly recommended by the instructors at Quantico. Da ist ja das FBI-Büro, nicht wahr? Oder beziehungsweise das Ausbildungszentrum. But she hadn't had the opportunity to work on a big case yet. She holds a degree in forensic medicine by the University of Massachusetts, which would make her valuable in a murder investigation. So, also spielen wir da die Catherine, die Kathy oder Stuart Ross, one of the oldest currently active agents of the Bureau. Ich weiß nicht, ob das die beste Idee ist. Warte mal, ist 34 und ist einer der ältesten Agenten. He declined a special instructor position at the academy, choosing to be on the field, solving cases. His superiors describe him as a resourceful and brave agent, and has received multiple commendations. Ross is a veteran of the Korean War, where he earned a Distinguished Service Cross. So, ich weiß nicht, wen wir hier nehmen. Ich hätte das vielleicht auch mal so machen sollen, dann hätte ich das besser lesen können. Die Catherine ist jung und sie hat mehr Ahnung von Forensik. Also let's go. Catherine has excellent detective and forensic skills that will come handy in her work as a federal agent. Also, already think it's choice, okay. Und dann haben wir hier bei ihm Ross' scientific skills are below average, but he has many contacts and great experience, which might be proved useful in the investigation. Ja, komm. Ja, Catherine. Let's go. That morning, your boss at the FBI, Arthur McConnelly, asks you to go to his office. Ah, you're finally here, Catherine. I wanted to brief Mr. Ross and you about your next case, unless you prefer to stick to paperwork until the end of time. I'm looking forward to work. Sigh, I'm not sure. Every rookie says the same thing until they start seeing corpses. Anyway, enough chit-chat. This is serious. I wouldn't get any of you involved if it wasn't... Ross is one of the best vets around. Maybe you're putting too much faith on me. I might be rusty. Nonsense. We need more agents like you if we want to beat those damn commies. The whole deal with the Ruskies started to go to hell when we caught them red-handed, building nuclear silos in Cuba. Where the hell do they get off? That's right, in our backyard. And instead of fighting them, we had to negotiate to make them back down. Ridiculous. Oh, man kann natürlich als Demokrat und als Republikaner auftreten. Interesting. Ja, wir versuchen jetzt mal erstmal die, ne? The peaceful method. Bah, I also thought like that at your age, but I've dealt long enough with them to know I was wrong. One must never show weakness to a bully. Now the Soviets know that they can threaten us to get whatever they want. Of course, I'm not happy that that guy died. It was a tragedy, but in a way, he had it coming. Fortunately, I'm not the only one on the bureau that thinks we've been underestimating the Red Menace. That's why you're here. Take a look at these pictures. Okay. Oh, yeah. The pictures aren't very nice, no. The bodies are bloody and lack any trace of skin. Whatever happened here, it was a real massacre. It's some kind of building with a big antenna array. Perhaps a radio station. The skin has been removed carefully enough to leave the flesh and eyes intact. I've seen enough. Yeah. These people were murdered. Yeah, no kidding. The pictures are from an astronomical observatory in Gardner, a small town in the state of Washington. This morning the sheriff found this desecration. 12 bodies slaughtered, and one of the researchers is still missing. We don't know who did this or why. What were they researching? Nothing with any military purpose, for all we know. The observatory was doing routine deep space data gathering for the Washington State University. Let me tell you, nothing good can come out of an obsession with outer space. Still, those folks didn't deserve to die like that. Yes, from what I've heard, they don't use telescopes. They seem to analyze radio signals from space, or something like that. Nothing worth dying for, not like this at least. Who is the missing scientist? We don't know much other than his name. Nicholas Forrester, a young PhD physics graduate. No criminal record. He and the rest were hired by the WSU a few months ago. It's simple. I want you to go and make sure that there's nothing on this case that involves the Ruskies. Normally we would send federal agents, but the town is a few miles away from the Fairchild Air Force Base, which is a lot of things that the commies would like to take a look at. This doesn't look like their job. Yeah, we'll go immediately. Yeah, let's go. Just drive there, ask a few questions, and do the paperwork. I'm sure you'll be back sooner than you think. I don't think so. You and your partner walked to the FBI's parking lot and took the black Cadillac that has been assigned to you. You drove the car for several days, only stopping to sleep at motels whilst on the road. Every mile you drove away from the headquarters of the Bureau lifted an oppressive feeling out of your chest. Here, the sky is always cloudy, so it's almost impossible to see the stars. Why would those idiots build an observatory here? Ja, wir sind jetzt mal ein bisschen, der Scheiße. Alright, McConley mentioned that. I should have known you'd remember. According to your file, you were at the top of your class in the academy. I'm sure that McConley... Man kann immer wieder Remain Silent machen. Also richtig assi. Aber sind wir ja nicht. Wir spielen erstmal schön auf nett. I'm an agent, not a bookworm. Yeah, right. Wrong choice of words, I guess. Let me ask you something, agent to agent. This whole thing about the missiles in Cuba, what do you really think? Should we have been more aggressive? Hm, nein, wir sind Gandhi. See, that's why the bosses consider me a top field agent and you're just a rookie with an attitude problem. I would have answered that, I don't think. Who's this? Hey, I'm going to turn on the radio. What kind of music do you like? Oh, this summer? Anything is fine. Nice. I'll see if I can get some Elvis. It's okay. That noise is disgusting. Turn it off. Meh. Overall, the state of Washington wasn't very welcoming, almost as if it was trying to warn you to stay away. Just then you realize you're arriving at your destination. A town called Gardner in the Washington state. A bunch of nosy villagers watched closely as your car entered the small town. Looking at this place, it's hard to imagine that people were brutally killed nearby. It's unlikely that such a sadistic killer would live in a small, peaceful town like this one, don't you think? Actually, research shows the opposite. Yeah. Well, I guess that living in a place where nothing interesting ever happens can make you snap. So, ich weiß immer noch nicht, was das alles bedeutet. Da können wir immer noch mit dem Typen quatschen, hoffe ich. If you're out of ideas on what to do next, I think we should ask around for directions to the sheriff's office, don't you? I wasn't out of ideas. Okay, I didn't mean to tease you. Lead the way then. Da geht man raus. Hier kann man nur gucken oder fährt man einfach weiter? The town was not very big, but the streets were crowded. Everyone seemed peaceful and calm. All of them oblivious to the brutal crimes that had just occurred a few kilometers away. Kilometers? Really? As soon as you stepped out of the car, a young man ran towards you. Assigned Bob. Black suits, driving a black Cadillac. Are you FBI, CIA, or maybe another more shady organization? No commands. That's classified. Who the hell are you? Daniel Brown, author of the 14 report. Sorry. Are you here for the dead scientists? The sheriff has not let the press on the side yet. Is it true that one of the astronomers is still missing? Do you have any clue of his whereabouts? I can't confirm or deny anything. But the readers deserve to know the truth. What readers, Daniel? That weirdo friend of yours was the only one who ever read your stupid flying saucer fanzine. And look what he ended up doing. You don't know what for sure that Nicholas was the killer? What I know is that I can get you arrested for obstruction of justice. Now scram. Yeah, that's better. I'm sorry that the creep bothered you folks. I'm glad you came, Sheriff. Sheriff? No. I'm just unlucky. The sheriff is my boss. I'm Albert Crane, the deputy. Nice to meet you. I'll take it you're the feds we've been waiting for, right? They told us you were coming to a couple of hours ago. But I didn't expect to see two rich kids from the city. I didn't expect to see a monkey. What? Ja, das können wir nicht machen jetzt, ne? Kann ich auch direkt in die Eier treten, ne? Das wäre auch ganz cool. Kick Balls als viertes. I am Agent Armstrong, FBI. And I'm a partner, Agent Ross. To be honest, I'm not really sure why they sent you. The sheriff and I have already identified the killer. It might take some time, but he will be found and brought to justice. I guess you made that long trip in vain. You know who did it? Oh my god, that is something. Yeah, well, it's not like we have any proof yet, but it's obvious that the killer was the missing scientist. He went mad, murdered everyone, and then ran away. His name is Nicholas Forrester. He's also goes by Nico. He came to work here about a year ago. I didn't know him personally, but I've heard he was a bit of an oddball. Obsessed with the UFOs. That son of a bitch. Only he couldn't do it. Oh, you know, just a typical place. We are pretty close to a military base, so all this restricted airspace. There's no planes flying over us. That's why the astronomy station was placed here. Other than that, it's just a town full of good people. Who was that reporter that spoke to us? Denny Brown, a reporter. What a joke. Reporter's a word way too big for what that clown does. He likes to say that he runs a magazine, but really all he writes is a bunch of nonsense about UFOs that nobody reads. It's nuts. I know. He was friends with the killer, but I don't think he's involved with at all with the murders. I've known Daniel since high school. He doesn't have the balls to hurt anybody, and much less to do something as inhuman as this. He's just the laughing stock of the town. How has the town reacted to all of this? Well, this is a small town, so news spread quickly. But I think most people don't realize how horrible the whole show was. The saddest part is that one of the dead scientists was just married to the mayor's daughter, Carrie. Poor girl. But I guess it means she's game. What? Where's the sheriff? He's waiting for you at the crime scene. He didn't want to leave just in case the culprit came back. Criminals always come back to the scene of the crime. Didn't you know that? I can bring you to him if you want. Ich glaube nicht, dass ich noch was hören will. It's a couple of miles from here. Get in my car and I'll drive you there. Okay. Hey, George, the feds are here. The sheriff seemed nervous. He quickly tossed his cigarette and walked towards you. I'm George Berry, the sheriff of Gardner. And you are? Agent Ross, and she's my partner, Agent Armstrong. I'd say that I'm pleased to meet you, but the circumstances are quite grim. You'll find the crime scene inside the station, with the bodies and everything. What is this place? Research station of some kind. I don't know. There hadn't been any problems with it until now. But I'm sure that in the future this town will be more wary about accepting foreigners. Maybe it's better if you see it with your own eyes. Afterwards, I'll answer any more questions you have. Just let me warn you, it isn't a nice sight. So, I wouldn't hurry to get in. And the first, yeah, let's go. Without a word, you rush towards the metal door. Yeah. Let's go. The place was an old army radar station, which had later been repurposed to gather radio signals from space. The military design was still evident, though. It was high in the mountains, so the air was cold, perhaps too cold for this time of year. As soon as you opened the door, you regretted it instantly. A flow of foul, rotten air invaded the whole place. You covered your mouth with one hand, trying desperately to control the sudden urge to vomit, and then you stepped inside. The interior was as welcoming as promised. It was hard just to breathe among the smell of half-rotten corpses. As you step in, your shoe touches something on the ground. A mutilated arm. Just one of the dozens of human remains scattered all over the place. This is insane. Whoever did this must be spent hours cutting and dismembering. There doesn't seem to be any pattern of method. Whoever did this just killed at random. Over a table full of computer controls, there was the main event, the Hulk Circus of Horror. A small and bloody human torso. The skin had been removed, the legs butchered. The eyes have been pulled out and were lying close to the head. The body had been covered by a pile of human ears. You counted them. 24. Oh God. The small frame implies that it's a woman. I think she was butchered with some kind of heavy item, possibly with that X over there. I hope she was already dead when all this happened. There was an X on the table, and it was bloody. There were small chunks of flesh all over the edge of its head, and on the handle too. All these dismemberments suggest that it must have been done with a heavy-edged weapon. Have you seen this axe? What do you think? Is that what the murderer used to kill all these people? It's too soon, bro. It's too soon. Let me search. I was thinking, do you think that maybe someone staged all this? You know, to make us dismiss the investigation as just the work of an insane killer? Do you have eyes? This is insane. Das jetzt zu stagen ist natürlich like the Russians. Ach, die Russians. This is insane, bro. Okay. Da sagt er nichts mehr zu. Achso, ja, das hatten wir schon. There was a group of mutilated corpses lying on the ground. Arms and legs has been chopped off with the blatant disregard. Some bodies have been decapitated too. The sheriff showed his face through the door. We haven't found all the heads yet. Oh my God. Ross walked towards the remains and flipped one of the heads over with his foot. This one has no ears. And that one neither. I think all of them. All the ears have been ripped off. About that, maybe you should check the body on the table. Yeah, already did, bro. Ich denke, wir müssen erstmal hier sprechen. You look pale. Have you seen corpses before? Oh, klar. Make sure it's you who doesn't puke, bro. Yeah, easier said than done. Weiter. I guess you understand the situation better now. If you have any question, I'll try to answer. The last time. That's the strangest part. I visited them that afternoon, and everything seemed normal. Who would have imagined that they would be like this on the morning? When did you find them? In the morning, around 9 a.m. You see, I'm friends with Carrie's family. She was married to William Kowalski, one of the scientists working here. She told me that her husband hadn't come home last night, so I wanted to check if he was actually working. So she thought he was having an affair. Know anything about the missing scientist? His name is Nicholas Forrester, but everybody calls him Nico. Unremarkable guy, fresh out of college. Not the sanest fellow, that one. Always talking about UFOs and government conspiracies. But we never thought he'd come to this. He hasn't been seen since we found the bodies. We think he ran away in the woods. The sick bastard. I hope beasts find him and make him pay for what he's done. It will still be merciful compared to what I would do to that fucker if I'd got my hands on him. Ich will das alles gar nicht sagen, aber die sagen das ja. You seem pretty convinced he's guilty. Ich weiß nicht, der erinnert mich jetzt an, ich hab's vergessen, an den Fußballer, der auch Schauspieler war. Why aren't you searching for him? Echt? Haven't you seen the size of the woods here? We're surrounded by miles and miles of trees. And we're only 2 people. We don't have the manpower to handle a search of such magnitude. If it was a missing kid or something, we could ask the collaboration from the townsfolk. But to catch a murderer? That's when Ross came out of the station. He was holding something in his hand. I found these. You think they might be useful? Cassette tapes. The labels on them are dated, so these must be some kind of audio log for the station. Let me check the one from the night of the murder. So you've noticed it too, right? The recording from the night of the murders happened is missing. Yeah, well, whatever. That detail doesn't change the bigger picture, does it? Most likely the murderer took it with him to cover his tracks. Yeah, then when didn't he hide the bodies? Folks, it's getting pretty late, so I'm going to lock the gate until the doctor arrives tomorrow and disposes of the bodies. The last thing we want is animals having a feast with the deceased. And I'm sure you're pretty tired, so Albert can drive you back to your hotel if that's okay. Sure, I'd love to take a shower. Okay. You headed to the deputy's car, who drove you back to your hotel in town. After checking in at the hotel, you went straight to your room. Hey, it's me, Ross. Can you talk? I'm a bit busy at the moment. I get it. I'm about to drop that to you. But I have to call McConnelly soon, and I'd like to make sure I haven't missed anything. It'll just be a minute. Ich dachte, man kann sich hier noch umsehen, bevor man ihn aufmacht. Thanks. I wanted to go over some points where I haven't quite made up my mind yet, especially regarding your opinion about the possible links between these murders and Russian ops. Da ist doch, Russen. Wir wissen doch alle, dass es nicht die Russen sind, sondern Trucking Cthulhu. It's unlikely. I see. So, there was one of the scientists who had a funny last name. You know, the one who was married to a girl from town. Ja, der Kowalski. Nur weil er Kowalski heißt, das ist außerdem eher ein polnischer Name als ein russischer Name. Schätze ich jetzt mal. What was it? Kowalski. Yeah, that's it. William Kowalski. Sounds Eastern European, doesn't it? Maybe Polish or even Russian. Oh my God. What do you mean? Well, I don't know, but but there has to be something. What do you think McConley will do when we tell him that a small nerdy scientist dismembered all of his co-workers with an axe because he suddenly went mad? You know what he'll do. He'll call us back immediately, then demote me and fire you, and send more people. So what do you propose? Listen, I have a plan, but I need you to follow my lead, okay? No. I call him and tell him that this might have been the Russians. And I'll drop that Polish name or whatever, so he thinks that we're into something. And we keep doing that until we find the killer, the missing tape, or whatever is necessary to not look like clowns when we report it was just a false alarm. How does that sound, huh? I'm not sure. It doesn't matter if you're sure or not. It doesn't matter. So it's the only thing we can do right now. This is misogyn. There's a potential killer on the loose, and we are playing politics instead of going after him. Ehrlich, Let me see. It hasn't been an easy day. Perhaps I should get some rest. Maybe. You barely got any sleep. Strange nightmares kept on haunting you whenever you closed your eyes. Oh. When the sun finally rose, you had a quick breakfast and headed down to the reception area. We were supposed to meet here. I guess it was too much to expect him to be on time. I've read that the hotel was originally built to accommodate that came here to build an Air Force base. What? It's quite nice, yeah. Yes, how may I help you? Have you seen my partner? As far as I know, Mr. Ross is still in his room. Should I call him to tell him to meet you here? That won't be necessary. Oh, jetzt können wir ohne ihn durch die Gegend laufen. Warte mal. Checken wir das. I can't leave until Ross shows up. Oh, come on. Alter doch. Finally, the Ross has come back. You don't look so good this morning, Kathy. Do you have trouble sleeping? I slept like a log. Let's focus on the job. I had a weird nightmare. No, I didn't. Do you speak with our boss? Yeah, I did, just after we spoke, and I did my best to keep his hopes up, and this being a Russian job. He was happy about that, but I'm sure that his patience will run out soon. So we should focus on solving the case as fast as possible, so we can leave this whole damn thing behind. I think the best option is that we separate. That way we'll be able to cover more ground. That sounds like a good plan, yeah. Ja, der ist Innenbremse, ne? Also nehmen wir das an. We agree on something at least. Yeah. A bit of solo investigation on your side will look good on the reports. Yeah. As for me, I'll be meeting a contact that may have some information we're missing. He's an old pal from the army. These days he works for the big brass at the Pentagon. So he should be able to tell me if there is a connection between the research station and the Fairchild Air Force Base. We should go interrogate one of the persons of interest too. See if you discover something. Do you have anyone in mind? Oh, ich sag dir gar nichts. Gar nichts. Just keep in mind that these things tend to take longer than expected. Choose wisely how to spend your time. Good advice. Yeah, thanks. Glad to help. Let's meet here tonight and discuss what we've learned. Bye. So, ich jetzt mal. Yeah, she seems quite busy. Perhaps it's better not to bother her right now. Ja, sie wird belagert praktisch. Gut. Time to choose. Who should I talk to? Carrie Kowalski, the widow, or Daniel Brown, the reporter? Ja. Das ist jetzt eine gute Frage. Der war sehr annoying. Sie haben wir noch nicht gesehen. Tja. Ich gehe zu der Carrie. Maybe she noticed something unusual about her husband's behavior. Also wahrscheinlich können wir nur einen befragen und dann ist der Tag vorbei. The locals said that Carrie, Kowalski's widow, had moved with her parents after the news of her husband's death. The house was a bit far from the hotel, but once you reached the neighborhood, it wasn't hard to find. The widow is the mayor's daughter, and it seems that being a politician really pays off. Come in, the door is unlocked. You're that federal agent, Catherine, right? The sheriff told me you would be coming to talk to me sooner or later. My condolences to your loss, and your Carrie. Well, yeah, my condolences on your loss. My loss, I can't believe he's gone forever. I still have the feeling that I will wake up and it will all be just a nightmare. Just ask your questions. About the night of the crime. Trust me, I remember that damn night for the rest of my life. Where were you? Anything strange, yeah. What then? Now that I think back, some things did seem what? Okay. Well, that my husband didn't call to tell me that he was going to keep on working the entire night. But no, it was just another normal day, or so I thought. I didn't know there was anything wrong until the sheriff called me in the morning. The sheriff told me you asked him to visit them. I did. Oh my God, I'm so ashamed. How could I have doubted him? The truth is that I thought he was having an affair, so I asked the sheriff to check if he was really working at the station. Or would you think he was unfaithful? Because I was a bad wife, that's why. It's just that lately he was barely coming home, and he was ecstatic. He said it was because they'd had a breakthrough in their research, but I didn't believe him. My dear William, I'm so sorry. I don't know much about it. It's very complicated stuff, and I'm just a town girl, but I try to help you. Was he happy at the job? Yes, he was quite happy lately. It hadn't always been like that, though. He was quite frustrated for a while because the research wasn't progressing. He even had a big argument with Nicholas. My husband was always angry those days, and it was even worse when the army ordered the station to close down. But after he and the rest of the scientists protested, they got the WSU to reopen the station again. Did he say why they were closed? No, William said they might have pissed off someone from the army, because the shutdown order came from them. I think that's the reason why he had so many arguments with that bastard Nicholas. They disagreed on how to proceed. All that now seems such trivial concerns. William was very charming, a real gentleman. We had lots of friends in town. Did he have an active social life? Yes, he used to hang around often at the bar to watch sports with the rest of the townsfolk. He loved baseball. That's how we met. Nicholas Forrester. You mean the killer? Say it, the killer. When it comes to me, he doesn't have a name. He's not human anymore. He's an animal. Yeah. I'll tell you anything that can help you bring him to justice. What is he like? At first, he didn't look like the kind of person that possessed such an evil, rotten soul inside. He was always talking about how the military was sabotaging his researches and everything, so most of us thought he was just a fool, like Danny Brown. But in the end, he showed his true face. Oh, also konnte man nur eine Sache aussuchen. I think I have everything I need. Hopefully you'll catch that monster soon and clear this up, so at least my son knows why his father died. The house seems even bigger from the inside. I will let you know if I remember anything else, Agent. Okay. Dann war's das hier. So the WSU tried to shut down the research station, huh? I should get back to Ross and let him know about this. The sun was going down when you made it back to the town center. About time. I've been looking for you for a while. I think this is a good spot to put our findings together, don't you? How did your investigation go? To be honest, I wasn't very lucky. I tried calling my contact at the Air Force, but I couldn't get past his secretary. So I was hoping that you discovered something useful. Explain what you've learned, yeah. Ross listened to your explanation attentively. You couldn't tell if he was surprised at any point, but he seemed quite interested. Shit, it seems that McConnelly was right in thinking that there's more to this case than what it seemed at the beginning. It's getting kind of late. Let's head back to the hotel. We can compare our notes while we walk there. Was over here? Yeah, what do you want? What do you go again? What are your theories on the case? Not sure what to think anymore. Sure, every closed case always has some questions left unanswered. But here, there are too many things that don't add up. Look, I'm tired of walking from here to there all day long. Let's just head back to the hotel and discuss what to do next. The sun was going down and the air felt colder. Soon it would be dark. First thing in the morning, we should discuss which persons of interest to interview. As soon as you entered the hotel, the clerk approached you. She seemed quite distressed. Excuse me, agent. The sheriff called and said that you should go to his office immediately. Did he said what it was about? Well, he said that apparently somebody killed the deputy. Oh. Nein, nicht den deputy. Thanks for letting us know. Tell the sheriff that we're heading over there immediately. What the hell is going on? Oder let's go. Dewey ist tot. Dewey ist gestorben. What the hell is going on? I wish I could answer that for you. Okay, let's get to the sheriff and find out what the truck has happened. Sheriff. Gardner was surrounded by miles of forest. He wondered if Nicholas Forrester was looking at you from somewhere over there. Everyone in town was already locked inside their home. Only the sound of the wind could be heard. If you hadn't seen this place in daytime, you would swear it was a ghost town. So. Schauen wir doch mal, was da drin so gibt. It's locked! But why? Agents? Oh, thank God you've arrived. This door can't be opened from the outside without a special key. Let me unlock it for you. Oh, das ist nicht schön. The lifeless body of Deputy Crane lied in a chair, covered in blood. This is madness. I spoke with him just a few hours ago, and now he's gone. You need to call for reinforcements, agents. We need a federal team to track down the maniac. Calm down, Sheriff. Ehrlich. Calm down my ass. Either you get your FBI buddies to conduct a search and apprehend that freak, or I will. Just tell us what happened. Isn't it obvious? Did you see him? Oh, no. I wasn't here when he killed Crane. I was on my way home when I suddenly heard a gunshot. Of course, I rushed back here immediately, but when I arrived, Forrester was already left. Had already left. I looked around the area nearby, and there was no trace of him or where he could go. Do you mind if we check the scene? Sure, as long as you call for reinforcements when you're done. The more time the psycho is on the loose, the more likely it is that he finds more victims. Can I talk to you for a minute? Forrester appears from nowhere, kills this guy, and then disappears into the night. There's something else going on here. I'm going to call the Bureau so they can send someone from the Forensic Division. We need more information. Ich dachte, ich bin Forensikerin hier. That? What should I do meanwhile? I call them, you check the area. Well, you're the expert, aren't you? Take a look and see if there's anything that explains what the hell happened here. This window is locked. In fact, all of them are. Is there something wrong? Can these be locked from the outside? I don't see how, but I have a theory. Maybe Forrester entered through a window, shot Deputy Crane, and then locked all the windows and left through the front door. That wouldn't make any sense. Why would he lock the windows? Who knows, perhaps he got nervous after the murder and wasn't thinking straight. Or maybe he did it to confuse us, so that we didn't know how he got in and out. The lifeless body of Deputy Crane sat in a chair. He had been shot on the side of the head. The bullet went in and out in a clear manner. He must have been shot with a handgun or a similar low-caliber weapon. And there is burning marks around the entry wound. He was shot at point-blank range. You notice that there is something unusual on the desk next to the typewriter. Is it this? A portable cassette player and a headset. It looks like he was listening to something before he died. What? It's the tape that was missing. The tape that was missing. The one with the station logs. The night the murders happened. But what is it doing here? Did you find something relevant? Lie. Oh. Ja, ich traue dem halt auch nicht, ne? Der will ja auch alles nur verbergen. Poor Crane, he always listened to loud music when he was working here at night. There was a trail of blood going down Crane's arm onto the ground, and in the middle of the bloody puddle, a revolver. Looks like it fell out of his hand. That's Crane's weapon. I'm sure of it. I guess he aimed at Nicholas, but the bastard shot him before Crane could fire back. He put on a pair of gloves and examined the gun. The cannon smells like gunpowder and it's warm to the touch. This weapon has been fired recently, and it's missing a bullet. Did you find something? How many gunshots did you hear? It was Deputy Crane who fired. This weapon was been fired recently. Only one. I have noticed if there were more. I'm not that dumb. Why? The shot came from this weapon. But how is that possible? Was he troubled recently? We shouldn't rule out suicide. Maybe the killer took his own gun somehow. Was he troubled recently? Crane, are you insinuating that he shot himself? That's ridiculous. I knew him like a son, goddammit. He was the most cheerful person in this damn town. So you can forget about that shit right now. He wouldn't have killed himself. Ever. I better leave this where it belongs. I just spoke with McConnelly. They've dispatched a special team for the manhunt. A unit of specialist forensic police will come with them. They'll be here tomorrow morning. So what did I miss? Your partner found a few extra details, but nothing that changes the overall picture. Forrester broke in somehow, probably through the window. He tried to ambush Crane, who didn't notice his presence because he was listening to loud music. The deputy, of course, tried to reach for his weapon. They brawled for it, and at that point the gun fired, killing Crane. And then Forrester left in a hurry, since he knew that someone would have heard the gunshot. Is that so, Sheriff? What about you, Catherine? What do you think? No one broke in here. I know where you're heading here, so let me take it off the table right away. Crane did not shoot himself. You spoke to the guy, goddammit. Did he sound like the sort of guy that would blow his own head off? I've got to admit that the sheriff has a point here. Why would he do something like this? Maybe because of this. Is that the missing tape? The deputy had it? Hey, where did you get that? Crane must have taken it from the station, but why would he hide it from us? To frame Forrester? That will explain why he was so adamant about blaming him all the time. Maybe this tape reveals who the real killer was. No, that's not what happened at all. If there's something you haven't told us, you better start talking now, or you wish it was you in the chair with your brains hanging out. Alright, yes. It was Crane who took the tape from the research station. But it's not what you think. You see, it happened when you visited the research station. Can you believe those fucking stupid knobs? Think they can come here and tell us how to do our job? And those fads, I'm sure those douchebags think that they're hot shit. If they weren't fads, I'd smack that attitude right out of them. There's nothing that the fads enjoy more than bossing around folks like us, kid. It makes them feel important. At least I catch Forrester, and then we can forget about this whole shit show. I wouldn't count on that. Not without this tape, at least. Are you fucking insane? Do you know what could happen to you if they find out you took this? They won't find out. Why they waste their time looking for clues, I listen to it. If it says nothing about Forrester's whereabouts, I'll tell the feds that we found it after we checked this place a second time. But if it mentions where Forrester could be hiding, we go first and catch him. We'll take the credit and teach those douchebags a lesson. Well, when you put it like that, I guess there's nothing wrong with us checking the tape first. And I've always thought we deserved a bit more respect from the folks in town. I swear to God, that's what happened. We already caught you lying. I bet you say anything to save your sorry ass. I'm telling you the truth. We just wanted to check out the tape before you. Keep on pressuring him, yeah. My partner doesn't seem convinced, and neither am I. What did you do to Forrester? Did he run away and that's why you're trying to frame him? No, you're making a mistake. I'm innocent, I swear. Listen to the tape. You'll see I've got nothing to do with that. What happened? It would be stupid not to listen to it and get some answers. Don't you think so, Kathy? Ha ha ha. Your partner took the tape and looked at it closely. Have you decided what to do with it? I can listen to it if you want to. Tell me what's on it, I don't think. Ja, ich denke, das ist jetzt hier die wichtigste Entscheidung. Ja? Entweder man... entweder man... ich würde ja auch nicht gerne... Oh, save, file, yeah. Das ist eine gute Idee. Einfach mal zu saven nach einer Stunde. Ist das jetzt bei dieser Sache gespeichert? Wenn das der Fall ist, dann kann man natürlich hier verschiedene Enden oder verschiedene Möglichkeiten versuchen. Aber das versuchen wir dann irgendwann morgen. Oder